Hi, it's Elizabeth Yeager from the Elizabeth Yeager Homes and Farms Group, and I wanted to make a video today helping agents with buyer consult basics and the top things that you need to do during a buyer consult to make sure that your client is comfortable with you, you are comfortable with your client, expectations are set, and hopefully everybody can walk away having a better idea of the buying process and what the client wants, how you can best help them, and communicate with them effectively. My series of videos is about helping agents identify what activities are not only income generating, but are true to who you are as a person and what you're comfortable doing so that you can build your business successfully while remaining authentic to yourself and attracting the clients that are most true to you and close to who you are as a person instead of constantly hunting for business and using outdated methods and tactics in real estate that we are told work over and over again, but maybe we aren't comfortable doing them. So I am very happy to have you watching. Thank you for watching. And I am excited to continue sharing my stories and my personal experiences about what made me successful while I remain true to myself and following my mistakes and successes along the way of my path in real estate. So to get started, when you finally get a buyer consult, right, you're very excited and you want to meet with them and you want to go show homes immediately. Always when we get a new buyer, we're like, when can we go? If you have the opportunity, even if it's just a phone call first, to do a buyer consult with a buyer, it's super important to do that. Today in real estate, a lot of times somebody will see a home online and reach out to us to see the home with that house already in mind. Real estate used to be where you needed an agent to show you houses or find houses for you. Now, a lot of times buyers find the house first and then need to find an agent to open the door. So it is really important to have buyer consults first if you can. But I understand that sometimes the only option is to meet the buyer at the house. And then here are some of the things that you also need to dive into with the buyer while you're touring the home simultaneously. Can you see why maybe having that 15-minute phone call or even better Zoom meeting, in-person meeting first would be helpful? Hopefully. But if you get time with your buyer and the things that you need to establish with your buyer, first is why are they moving? What is important to them throughout their move? You want their personal story. You want to know, do they have kids? Are they planning to start a family? Have they recently gotten married? Did they have a dog? Like, why are they moving? Is it due to job transfer or change? And what are their motivations behind moving? This will also help you determine what type of offers they're going to make, because the more motivated the buyer is, the stronger offer they'll make, and the better you can set their expectations for the market that you're in. Second, you want to know geographic area. We serve 2 states, and sometimes we'll have people looking in both states, which is fine because the states are, there's cities relatively close to each other, but sometimes you'll get a buyer that says they don't really know where they want to be. You can use those clues from finding out why they're moving and what's important to them to help them hone in on a geographic area. And this is where your knowledge as a local expert will come into play. That's what real estates are, right? Real estate agents are, right? We want to be local experts to the markets that we serve and help them narrow in on an area that they want to be in. The more clear that everybody can be about geographic area, the easier it will be for them to find a home that they want to move forward with an offer on. The next is pre-approval. So of course you want to make sure that your clients are pre-approved. I do sometimes show homes without the client being pre-approved first because I want to meet them and establish that rapport with the buyer, make sure they trust me, I trust them, we like each other, and we want to work together. However, that next step really is getting a pre-approval. So you want to have local lenders, and I say local for a reason. We need to have lenders that know the market that we're in, that will answer their phone on weekends, and those big banks like Bank of America, Truist, Rocket Mortgage, don't even get me started. Those large online qualifying companies, nobody is going to be around to help you on the weekend. And guess when offers are written? On the weekend. So you want a good local lender that will be able to help you and the buyers. And also this will establish a budget for the buyers. So remember, it's not just about how much they can afford, it's what they're comfortable paying monthly. So once the budget is established, this all ties back together to where they need to be geographically, their drivers behind moving and what their motivations are, and how serious of a buyer they're going to be. So the affordability of a home for your buyer will also help narrow down their search. And it's so great to have a lender's expertise as well, because they will help you with loan type and different things potentially about the property that will help you and the buyers narrow your search and have better direction to your search. In addition, you can always ask the lender to give you cost estimates on homes. And I do this a lot sometimes for clients that are very numbers oriented. I ask a lender for a payment estimate before we even go look at a house, because sometimes if there's an HOA fee or the taxes are really high, the two states that we serve, taxes vary greatly. In one state, one house would have, the taxes would be about $6,000 annually, and in across the state line that could be 12 to 14,000. So that makes a huge difference in payment. So a lot of times I like to provide a cost estimate once I've been working with a buyer ahead of time, so they know if they're going to be super comfortable making a higher offer on this house, or truly what is the affordability of the home for them. You also want to talk to your clients about the condition of the home that they're looking for. Are they okay with a fixer-upper? Are they okay with cosmetic repairs? So if something needs to be painted, or the kitchen or bath needs to be updated, are they okay with that? Or do they want something modern, turnkey, move-in ready, no questions asked? That will also play into their budget and their geographic area of where they can afford a house. Also fixer-uppers. So do you have somebody that's willing to put some sweat equity into a home? The first home that my husband and I bought, we didn't have water. Our well didn't work, long story. And we had to put a lot of sweat equity into that house, but we were willing to do it. And some people are and some people aren't. So you just want to make sure that you know someone's comfort level with the move-in readiness of a home, because that can nix houses sometimes before you even go see them. And you will know, the more houses you see looking through the pictures, oh, that's a water stain on the ceiling, or oh, it still has the original wood paneling, or oh, that carpet doesn't look great. You'll know if your client will say this house is too much work for them or not. Also, depending on budget and geographic area, again, can we budget for repairs or have a general estimate of what repairs would be or updates needed before you even go see the house? Can we build that into planning ahead if they did want to make an offer and move forward with the home? Next, you want to establish the needs versus wants. And again, all goes back to buyer motivation. So that is super important. That's what makes the buyer feel heard by you as their realtor. That's what makes the buyer feel like you are personally invested in who they are as people and not just making a commission off the sale of a home. You want to keep their motivations for moving and their needs and wants at the forefront of the conversations that you have, parallel to the affordability and pre-approval they have on for what they can afford. So in terms of needs versus wants, that's when we make sure, okay, they love cooking, they need an updated kitchen, or they have dogs, they need a fenced in yard, or they need a certain number of bedrooms. A lot of times I'll work with clients with multiple children that they need 4 bedrooms all in the same level, and that can actually be a challenge to find in our area. So that's like a defining factor that guides your home search. I also deal with a lot of farm and land properties. Sometimes I have clients that need acreage, or the property needs to be zoned for horses or needs to allow livestock. So all of those needs and versus wants, like, oh, we would really like hardwood in the bedrooms, but if it has carpet, it's not a deal breaker. You want to establish very early on what those deal breakers are. And again, the needs versus wants, because those are the things that they will be flexible on. Like, we want a fireplace or a wood stove, but we're okay if it doesn't have one. So the more details you can find out, the more established the rapport between you and your client will be, the easier the home search process will be, because you can not waste everyone's time going to look at houses that you know that they wouldn't want in the first place. And then also having that continual contact with their lender, knowing what these price estimates are going to be, knowing what they're really comfortable with budget-wise, knowing what they can afford. All of these things play into your map that you establish with your client when you are embarking on the home buying process. So hopefully those were some helpful things. So when, buyer consult, just to recap, buyer consult, you want to establish their motivations for moving, their needs and wants, their pre-approval amount, or if they're if they're not pre-approved, you need to refer them to a local lender. What level of repairs they are comfortable with or okay with, and finally, the geographic area and really knowing where they want to be in relation to commuting or how rural or neighbors, all of that. So establish that healthy rapport with your buyer, and you'll be much more successful in quickly finding them the home that they want while they still feel like you have their best interest at heart, because you took the time to ask ahead of time and really establish that relationship with them. So feel free to check us out on, I'm on Instagram at Maryland_Realtor, and our Facebook page is the Elizabeth Yeager Homes and Farms Group. We would love for you to give us a like or a follow, and thank you. And if you ever have any questions, please feel free. The inbox or comment section is always open. And thank you for tuning in. Have a great day.